Coming up on Let's Get to the Points.
Tonight, it's all about Delta Air Lines. That's what we're talking about.
The sweet spot list for Delta SkyMiles just keeps decreasing, but here are some that we think offer a decent value.
The round-trip flight to Mexico City and back was cheaper than booking 2 one-ways.
If you can fly in one of these aircraft, you're going to have a really nice experience. The best when it comes to these other U.S. carriers.
And one more tip on how to use your Delta SkyMiles for pretty good value.
Now, a lot of people will say, don't transfer your Amex points to Delta, but I've done it. So it's okay if you want to do it too.
Now, let's get to the points. She loves elevating family travel into a luxurious, affordable, and unforgettable experience. It's Serena. When he's not on the road, he's finding the deals that'll get him there. It's Miguel. She has taken her family from Spirit to Etihad First Class, but she's only loyal to a great deal. It's Nicole, and his true love is traveling the world in first class, using his points and miles, that is. It's Mitch Shannon.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us on Let's Get to the Points video audio podcast, where we bring you the very best in tips and tricks in the world of miles, points, and travel. I'm Mitch Shannon, joined by my beautiful co-hosts who love traveling the world with their families using their credit card points and miles. First up, she loves to fly, and it shows. It's Serena.
Hi, everyone.
You'll love the way he flies. It's Miguel.
Hey, what's up?
And not only does she keep climbing, she's ready when you are. It's Nicole.
Hi guys, how are you?
Please help us out. Click that subscribe button below now to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch or listen. Also, don't forget, sign up for our weekly newsletter. We send it out every week with the latest news in the points and miles world. Now let's do it. Let's get to the points. Tonight, it's all about the Delta Spirit. It's Delta Air Lines. That's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about everything from their award program called SkyMiles. We're going to look at their partnership with American Express. And we're even going to share some great award redemptions and take a look at their onboard product and really see if Delta could be the best U.S. airline that is out there. And as always, we invite you to join in on our conversation by leaving a comment below. Question for you guys. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I came appropriately dressed for this episode all about Delta Airlines. What do you think about that?
Very nice. Can I have one too?
I appreciate the space in between air and lines.
Look at you picking up on the details.
A lot of people don't know it's 2 different words. It's air lines, not airlines.
Learn something new every day.
Are you for real?
Yeah, what do you mean? You didn't know that?
Yeah.
It sounds like one word to me.
It's 2. That's why I'm saying I appreciate the space on his sweater.
You are right, Miguel.
Well, Mitch, you might be wearing Delta Airlines, but I flew in on Delta Airlines, so I think I get an extra point.
Absolutely. And how was that flight?
Amazing. I love Delta. It renewed my love for Delta. I just need him to bring the prices down a little bit.
So you all know how Miguel has his little Lufthansa ducks that he loves very much. He's got them. So the one thing that I've got, Miguel, show me your ducks. You got them? Yeah. Do you have, Miguel, a Christmas duck?
No. Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Got it.
Very nice.
Did he ruin your bit, Mitch?
Okay, we'll get there. It's okay because Miguel, this is my prized possession, just like your ducks right here. It's my Christopher Radko Delta Widget Christmas ornament. We just put our Christmas tree up right here. Every year, my P2 almost broke it last year. I almost broke him, but it survived.
So you care about that ornament. Are
Oh
those
my
crystals?
I don't know what. No, it's glitter, but it's very expensive. I looked this up on the eBay and it goes for a lot. I wanted to share this tonight. So
wow.
Yes, my little Christmas ornament. So we'll put it back here for this show.
I would love to see your tree, Mitch, because I bet you it's got a bunch of travel paraphernalia on it.
It's got a couple in there. Have you guys put your trees up yet?
We don't have a tree. We haven't had a tree for years.
Just barely. We barely put it up.
Okay, so last week we talked about Hilton and we started the show with a little trivia. I think it was a big hit. What do you guys think about that tonight? A little more trivia.
The music's always a big hit.
Okay, well, here's the deal. We got music.
Are we dancing?
Okay, here we go. First question I got for you guys is this. With the exception of Northwest Airlines, I want you to name 2 other carriers that Delta has either merged with or acquired in the past.
Oh, I got one.
I think I have one.
US Air.
Really?
No?
Okay, no.
U.S. Circuit Popeye.
American Airlines.
Oh, I thought they were with Northwest.
And it was called U.S. Airways.
Oh, good try. Oh,
American.
wow, Serena. That's
Double
bad.
whammy.
We're not editing that out. That is staying in. Miguel, redeem the group. What do you got?
I forgot the name, but it was something about some pesticide company that it's actually how it started. Something like Haas. Something like that. I don't remember the right name.
Come on, Nicole. It's all you. What do you got?
I got AirTran.
Are you serious?
Is that a disappointing?
Oh my
Are you
God.
serious?
Okay, time out. Before we started this, you all were like bragging that you knew the answers to these questions.
No, we weren't.
Wow.
No, we were not. He was like trivia, and we were like, meh.
AirTran was Southwest, Nicole. Wow. All right, so here's a couple answers for you. Northeast Airlines, there was Western Airlines, there was Pan Am, which they purchased some of those international routes from Europe. So that's kind of how they got some of that. So there you go.
That was before my time. I have a good excuse. I'm a young spring chicken.
That's questionable.
Okay, if you didn't do good with the first question, you're not going to do any better with this one. All right, here we go. What year did the very first flight attendant fly for Delta Airlines?
Oh my gosh. No one's
Pass, Bob. Pass.
1925.
Oh, no, that's when they were founded. I'm going to go with, like, it probably took them a few years. So say 1933. Oh, wait, that was the Great Depression, right? Yeah, I'll just go with that.
Answer is 1940, and her name was Bertie Perkins, and she wasn't a flight attendant. She was a stewardess, and she still flies Sydney today.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. You believe that? He's lying.
I didn't do the math.
That's quite a while ago.
She think 1940s. She's only 60 years old.
All right, next question. What year did Delta start their frequent flyer program?
1992.
67.
1984.
Serena, you were close. So they started in 1981, and then it became Delta SkyMiles in 1995. That's when they changed the brand.
What was it called before that?
It was just called their frequent flyer program, Delta Frequent Flyer. It didn't have a name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Final question. How many SkyMiles does it take to fly from the US to Europe?
All of them.
450,000.
Oh, done.
You all are right because no one knows the answer to that. They don't publish an award chart. So, they get a little flack for that, for devaluing the program over the years. However, there are some bright spots in this program, and those are what we're going to look at tonight. So let's go ahead and get started.
So a little bit of background. Delta Airlines is one of the big three U.S. airlines. They were founded in 1925, and they're part of the SkyTeam Alliance. The SkyTeam Alliance currently has 19 members, and they also have additional partners that are not part of SkyTeam. For example, LATAM. You can book LATAM flights with your Delta SkyMiles. So we'll get into how you can earn and redeem Delta SkyMiles when you either fly Delta or one of their partner airlines. We're also going to be covering their elite status and how you can use that elite status for benefits when you're flying either Delta or other SkyTeam members. Delta Airlines mainly operates out of 9 hubs in the US. Their largest hub and company headquarters is out of Atlanta. In the East Coast, they have Boston and New York, both at JFK and LaGuardia. In the Midwest, they have Detroit and Minneapolis. Out in the West Coast, they have Seattle and LA. And in the Rocky Mountain region, they have Salt Lake City as a hub. Nicole, let's go over some of the different ways that we can earn Delta SkyMiles.
Delta Airlines has a partnership with American Express, and they have 3 business cards and 4 personal cards. Let's discuss the benefits and some of the public welcome offers. So I'm going to start off by telling you about the Delta personal cards. We're going to start from the smallest annual fee and get to the monster of these Delta cards. So in previous episode, I've talked about my first credit card, which was actually a Delta card. It was the Delta Blue card, but the official name is the Delta SkyMiles Blue American Express card. The Delta Blue card earned 2 points per dollar on Delta purchases and at restaurants. It earns 1 point per dollar on every other purchase. Now, this card has no foreign transaction fees. So because this card has no annual fees, this is one of the reasons I got this card, because as a broke college student, ain't nobody got time to be paying annual fees. But now we realize the benefits of those. So the next card is the Delta Gold card. The Delta Gold card has an annual fee of $150. But currently, they're waiving the annual fee for the first year. With the Delta Gold Card, you can get 15% off award travel using your Delta miles, but this is only on Delta operated flights, not their partner flights. You also receive a $200 flight credit after spending $10,000 in a calendar year. This card allows you to get the first check bag free, and you get 2 miles per dollar on restaurants and 1 mile on every other purchase. A few other benefits of this card is that you get a $100 Delta Stay credit. This will give you a statement credit after using your Delta SkyMiles Gold Card to book prepaid hotels or vacation through Delta Stays. This card also gives you Zone 5 priority boarding. Now, the Delta Platinum Card. This has a $350 annual fee, but based on the credits, you should get a value of $390. This comes with the companion certificate. You can enjoy main cabin round-trip flights on domestic, Caribbean, or Central American destination after your first renewal year. Now, with this companion ticket, you do have to pay the taxes and fees, which should be around $80 round trip and go no higher than $250. You're going to get an MQD head start and receive $2,500 worth of medallion qualifying dollars for each medallion qualifying year. Try saying that 5 times fast. You will get an MQD boost for every $20 you spend using this card. You get 3 miles per dollar on Delta purchases, and you also get $150 for Delta stays, $120 rideshare credit, and $120 Resi credit. The Reserve American Express card has an annual fee of $650, but you'll get credits amounting to about $560. You get the companion pass, you get Delta SkyClub access, but starting in February of 2025, they're going to limit it to 15 visits per year. It does offer an MQD head start as well as an MQD boost. You also are able to take 15% off award travel using your Delta card. It also comes with a $200 Delta Stay credit, $240 Resi credit, and a $120 rideshare credit. Now, all of these credits that they're giving you with the Platinum card and the Reserve card, these are monthly credits. So it's important for people to pay attention and make sure they use them monthly so they get the maximum value. I have had the Delta Blue card, talked about it a lot on this show. Have you guys ever had a personal Delta card?
No, I think I just have the business gold card.
Mitch, in your 30 some odd cards, you don't have any Delta personal cards? You have a Delta ornament.
I've kind of been waiting for this moment. So the very first card I had, it was 20 years ago, and it was a Delta Gold card. And that's the one that I let charge off, go to collections.
Oh,
and,
Mitch.
Yeah, that
Good
one.
lesson.
I was young, I was stupid, I was dumb. That's probably the entire reason why I let it to go get charged off. I did have the Delta Gold card at the time, but this was way back when. This is when they had Song as their second airline. So it's been a while since I've had that Delta credit card. Yeah, that one right there, Miguel, that one.
Is that a gold business card?
Yeah, gold business.
So every time I go to book a Delta flight and I see that 15% off, I'm like, ooh, I should upgrade my blue card to a gold card. And I'm like, I don't want to pay the annual fee. Do you think it's worth upgrading?
Yeah, I'm canceling mine.
Well, there you go. That's my answer.
Get it for the bonus and get out.
So I've had a couple of the personal cards, maybe 15, 16 years ago, because at the time we had to take a Delta flight. And so I was planning ahead, needed some Delta points. Those have since closed, but I just opened that business gold card that you have, Miguel, and it's probably sitting in my mailbox right now. And the reason why I opened it is because I want that 15% off of award fares. There's a Delta flight that I'm eyeing, and it's possible I might book it. So I'm trying to be proactive and have that 15% off ready just in case that award availability opens up for me.
I want to guess what you're looking out for.
Okay. Guess, Miguel.
Is it Seattle to Taipei?
Wrong. It's Taipei to Seattle.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm looking at the Taipei to Seattle flight on Delta One. It's a lot of points. And so this 15% off is going to help a lot, especially when you're talking about a family of 6 people. The good news is I don't like paying annual fees sometimes too, Nicole. So this card, they're waiving the annual fee as an introductory offer for the first year, which is why I opened it. And the bonus on top of that is my husband, he referred me to this card, so he is going to get a referral bonus out of it. And Amex is actually offering elevated referral bonuses right now. So he's getting, I think it's 30,000 or 35,000 points for referring me to this card, which is a nice little bonus too.
I'm glad you brought up the business card. I'm going to tell you about the 3 business card that Delta has with American Express. I'm going to start with the granddaddy of Delta business card, the Delta Reserve business card. This has a whopping $650 annual fee, but you should get about $600 in credits for it. This business card comes with Delta SkyClub access. Just like the personal card, after February 1st, 2025, they're going to be limiting your amount of visits to 15 per year. You will receive an MQD Head Start along with an MQD Boost. This card earns 1.5 miles on transit, ride shares, taxi cabs, and also U.S. shipping. You will also receive 1.5 miles on office supply stores. And after spending a whopping $150,000 on this card, you can earn 1.5 miles on all eligible purchases for the rest of the year. This card has the Delta Companion Pass and also allows you to take 15% off Delta flights when booking award travel on Delta Air Lines. There's a $240 Resi credit and a $250 stay credit. And lastly, there is a $120 rideshare credit. And again, just a reminder, all these credit comes in monthly statements. Now, Delta has a Platinum Business Card. It comes with a companion certificate, MQD Head Start and bonus, and also 1.5 miles on rideshare and transit and U.S. shipping. 15% off award travel on Delta flights. This one gives you 3 points per dollar on Delta purchases and hotels. This card has a credit for Resi of $120, a rideshare credit of $120, and $200 Delta stay credit. And the last Delta business card is the Gold card. This has the 15% off Delta award flights, $200 Delta flight credit, and you get the first check bag for free. You can earn 2 miles per dollar on U.S. shipping and advertising. You can get 2 miles per dollar on Delta flights and restaurants. And the credits on this are $150 stay credit. All other purchases are at 1 mile per dollar, and you get Zone 5 priority boarding. Now that Zone 5 priority boarding might be very helpful because today we had Zone 6 and we were all the way in the back of the bus. I mean, like we were on row 42. And that is not helpful, especially if you have a connecting flight. So I know, Serena, you have the Delta Gold business card. Has anyone ever had that purple one? What do they call it? The reserve card for $650.
Couldn't be me.
Nicole, I do not have the purple card because why would I want to pay $650 when I can pay $0 instead in the first year with my business gold card?
I agree. 100%.
So the reason why I got this card was the Takeoff 15, which gives you 15% off award bookings on Delta operated flights. Now, one tip is, let's say that you have some Delta bookings already, and let's say this 15% off is interesting to you. You can open one of these cards and then you can reprice your existing bookings to see if it's cheaper with this 15% off. So Delta is great because they do not charge a cancellation fee if you were to cancel or rebook a flight. The only exception to this is basic economy tickets. There will be a fee if you do cancel those. So I think that if this is also appealing to you, it's something that you might want to consider if you have some existing bookings already. So with the Takeoff 15 offer, you also need to use that Delta card to pay for your taxes and fees in order to get that 15% off. So keep that in mind as well. One more thing is that 15% off shows up right away, pretty much soon after you're approved. My card is still in the mailbox, but I've been seeing the 15% off on my account for the last 2 days. So it's pretty quick.
That's a great tip.
So when does it make sense to get the Delta Reserve card? Because that's a high annual fee. But if you're loyal to Delta and you fly Delta a lot, it could make sense for you because you might want that Delta SkyClub membership. Keep in mind that you have a limited number of visits now. And also keep in mind that you could also visit Delta SkyClub when you're flying Delta if you hold the American Express Platinum or Business Platinum card as well. Another reason to have the Delta Reserve card is if you're interested in earning their elite status, because you could use the card and spend money on the card to help you with those MQDs that you need for your elite status.
You took the words right out of my mouth. If you do find value in the elite status, then that's the benefit of this card, because it's definitely not the lounge. And the credits, there's so much work, right? Like it is $600, but you're doing it monthly. $10. I mean, if you're already using these things, then it's perfectly fine. So I think there is a niche market for this. Maybe someone who lives in an urban area, always taking Uber, always eating out, and always flying Delta. This is the card for you. You have to find that Venn diagram where, that person is fitting in that circle. And like Miguel says, wouldn't be me.
I don't think it's any of us. Let's talk about the other ways that you can earn Delta miles. You can transfer American Express points to Delta at a 1-to-1 ratio. Just be aware that you will have to pay an excise tax fee. So as an example, if I want to transfer 100,000 American Express points to my Delta SkyMiles account, I would have to pay $60 for that transfer. And remember, the maximum amount that you will be charged is $99. So if you transfer 1 million points to Delta, it will cost $99. Now, a lot of people will say, don't transfer your Amex points to Delta, but I've done it. So it's okay if you want to do it too.
You can also transfer points from Amex to Delta and use those miles on partner airlines. Like I booked a flight from Haneda to South Korea and I used my Delta points for that. So it's not just for US flights.
You can also transfer points from Marriott to Delta. That will be a 3-to-1 ratio. So for every 3 Marriott points that you transfer, you will get 1 Delta SkyMile. You can also earn points from the Delta SkyMiles shopping portal when you purchase Delta vacations from the SkyMiles dining program. And then you can also earn points from Airbnb stays, Hertz car rentals, Lyft, and Starbucks. So in some of these cases, you have to link your accounts. For example, you have to link your Delta account with your Lyft account, and we'll include those links in the show notes below. Now let's talk about the best way to maximize your Delta SkyMiles. This is the part that most of us love, the redeeming part. And here are some things to keep in mind when you are booking your award flights. Delta uses dynamic pricing and there is no award chart. So you will notice that the pricing on award tickets will fluctuate a lot. When you're searching on Delta's website, you'll want to choose flexible dates, and from there you can see a price calendar to give you a good view of the whole month and what award tickets will cost on each day. For Delta, round trip award rates can be cheaper than booking one way. So it's a good idea to search both one ways and round trip when you're searching for a flight. And then like we mentioned before, Delta award tickets are fully refundable except for basic economy. So if you booked an award flight, you'll want to reprice it every so often to see if the award ticket drops in price so that you can get a refund in miles.
One of the best ways to redeem your Delta SkyMiles is actually through what they call their flash sales. There's really no way to predict when some of these flash sales will occur, but there are some tips that we recommend. So how can you find out if there's a flash sale? We recommend that you subscribe to different newsletters. Our friend from Find Flights for Me on Instagram regularly posts when these flash sales occur as well on Instagram. Or you could also follow different travel blogs because when these are announced, they go pretty quick.
Miguel, I think that's one of the best things about Delta Airlines and their SkyMiles are these flash sales. And our friend Spencer from Straight to the points. He's highlighted some of these recently, and one that comes to mind is they dropped the price on their new route. And I think you're taking this one, Serena, or this is the one you're looking for. It's Seattle to Taipei, or maybe you're doing the other way around. We were seeing them as low as 83,000 Delta SkyMiles each way, and that's with that 15% discount that we talked about by holding that American Express card. Now, Nicole, you really scored with those tickets from LA to Auckland, didn't you?
From Miami to LA to Auckland, actually.
That's right.
Yeah. And these things move pretty quickly. I remember I wanted to book 5 seats. So I was going to take Nana on this flight. And by the time I call her, for her to tell me she didn't want to go, it went from 5 seats to 4 seats. So if you see it, book it. And then if Nana doesn't want to go, then you cancel her ticket.
And remind me, Nicole, how much did you pay for Miami to New Zealand with one of these Delta flash sales?
Round trip, I think it was about 45,000 miles, somewhere in there like that.
Oh, I remember the thumbnail. It was 40,000 round trip.
Wow.
And then you got a rebate because they didn't have Wi-Fi.
That's right.
So it was even cheaper than that. That was a great deal.
I think I might have paid more for my flight to DC than I did to Auckland when you count in the rebate. I also saw a flash sale. Nyla was so fortunate to be able to go to Mexico City for a quinceañera. The same thing that Serena mentioned, the round trip flight to Mexico City and back was cheaper than booking 2 one-ways. So when you are booking these tickets, I would definitely double check the one-way and the round trip price.
That was a great deal that you got, Nicole. And another one that we saw was nonstop from the US hubs to Seoul, Incheon, and that was booking in at around 110,000 Delta SkyMiles one way in their business class. And that's a really good deal for that as well. So those are our 2 sources that we highly recommend for finding these flights. The first one is our good friend, Find Flights for Me. You can find him on Instagram. And the other is Spencer from Straight to the Points. And he's got an email newsletter. We're going to put the link down in the show notes below where you can sign up to his subscription service and you'll get the deals emailed right to your inbox.
Now let's get into some of the sweet spots they have. And unfortunately, the sweet spot list for Delta SkyMiles just keeps decreasing year after year. So there's not as many as we would like, but here are some that we think offer a decent value. It's possible to find award flights from Mexico to Europe for 105,000 miles one way in business class. This is significantly lower than if you'd start in the US to go to Europe because those can go up to 400,000 miles for one way in business class. Another route that we like is the Seattle to Taipei in Delta One business class, and that usually goes for about 110,000 miles. To fly from the Europe region to Asia in business class, that can be found for as low as 80,000 miles, and that's a 13-hour flight, so we think that's a really good deal as well. Australia to Asia in business class can be found for as low as 65,000 miles one way in business class, and that's about a 10-hour flight. And the last one, there is another route that is pretty interesting, and that is between South Korea and Japan. That's only about a 2.5-hour flight, but you can actually book that in business class for 15,000 Delta SkyMiles. You won't be flying Delta, you would be flying one of their partner airlines such as Korean Air, but that is a pretty good deal as well. And one more tip on how to use your Delta SkyMiles for pretty good value is if you visit their Delta SkyClub. Sometimes they have premium alcohol drinks that you can actually redeem your miles for. So instead of paying out of pocket, you can use your miles for a cocktail or even a bottle of champagne.
Other sweet spots are the US to Canada for 12,500 miles one way in economy, the US to South America for as low as 25,000 one way in economy, and within Europe for 10,000 miles in economy or 20 to 25,000 miles in business class. So I want to tell you guys something. In a few weeks, I'm going to be flying something that I booked with Delta Miles. No, it's not the Taipei to Seattle route. That one hasn't been booked yet. You want to guess?
I'm going to say Korean Air, or that's the only one that comes to mind. Maybe like Air France. I don't know.
Anyone else want to guess?
It's got to be some SkyTeam partner, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing that we'll never guess it right.
Yeah, I think.
Wait. Is it SAS?
No. So you did hit it, Miguel. I am flying Air France from Europe to Asia for 80,000 miles in business class.
Of course you are.
This was something I didn't think that I would be booking, but on Air France, this particular route, I'm flying from Paris to Hong Kong. It's a 12-hour flight on Air France's new business class seat. It will be all 6 of us. On Air France's website, they were asking 160,000 miles per ticket. Virgin was asking for 120,000 miles per ticket. So I booked it on Delta because it was 80,000 miles per ticket. It was the date I needed. It was Air France's new business class seat, and there was room for all 6 of us.
That's a pretty good deal. That's half price from the operating carrier's cost.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I just hope they don't cancel on me because I looked at the seats lately and there's nobody booking this flight. It's empty. It's an almost empty cabin except for us. So I hope they don't cancel it. So the taxes and fees on this flight was about $300 US. But when I looked it up recently, I noticed that the taxes and fees also fluctuate. On some days, I will see this flight for 80,000 miles and over 600 euros per ticket, which is very interesting to me. I didn't know that they did that. So watch out for the taxes and fees when you're booking these flights with Delta Miles.
Now let's talk about the best part, I think, of redeeming these points and miles. It's for the experiences that we have on board. What's it like flying in these premium cabins on Delta? Delta, they've got 2 different in-flight products. They have for their international routes, they have what's called Delta One. This is their version of the international business class, what you would find on other carriers. And I got a little cheat sheet here for you guys right here. Can you see these? They're the
Trading cards.
Delta trading cards.
I have a few of those.
Yeah, these are really nice, by the way. So these aircraft right here, they offer a flatbed seat on them. So this is their A350 and their A330neo aircraft. And they have what's called the Delta One Suite, which comes with its own privacy door. Now, I don't think AA or United, they've got seats with doors. Am I right on that?
I know American Airlines is planning to refurbish their business class and they will have doors, but not currently.
Maybe they should refurbish their menu first.
So if you can fly in one of these aircraft, you're going to have a really nice experience. They also offer DPS, which is basically what you would find on a domestic first class. It's basically premium economy. Then they offer economy plus, which is seats with more legroom. And then they have economy, which Nicole, that's what you flew to Auckland, right? Because I remember watching your special edition episode and it looked like it was a pretty good flight, right?
Mitch, why are you acting like you don't know it's economy? Edit that video. You think?
I also remember that was a plane with no Wi-Fi.
Actually, my flight today compared to the flight I took to Auckland, the Wi-Fi on this 1-hour flight was amazing. I was able to watch YouTube on my laptop. So they are coming a long way, and I think they're starting to refurbish some of their older planes. Now, this was one of the earlier flights to Auckland, and so I don't think whatever it is called, Comstat, Amstat, whatever satellite they needed to beam my internet from was not working on this flight. And that leads me to, if you were dissatisfied with some service, not just from Delta, but from some airline, it's imperative that you advocate for yourself. If they're going to give you something like an apology, a few miles, every little bit helps. And on this flight, the internet wasn't working. And so they gave us back 22,500 miles.
Per person.
Per person on my economy flight. Yes.
Wow. Nice.
I don't fly with Delta a whole lot, but the few times that I have flown with Delta, they've been pretty good. They have really good service. The catering's been good. Earlier this year, I did a status match challenge and they matched my American Airlines status over to Delta Platinum. I took like 6 flights and I got upgraded to first class on like 4 of them. So I got pretty lucky. I went down to Puerto Rico and I got a meal on that flight that was a lot better than I expected, honestly, which is a lot better than pretzels that you can get on other airlines. I have flown Delta for international long haul routes. I flew the regular A330 from Atlanta to Paris. That's the older business class. I flew that with my parents. That was one of my earlier redemptions. I mean, I was excited because I was just with my parents in business class. I didn't have a lot to compare it to. And so we had a good time. We enjoyed it. But I did also fly the A330neo. I flew that with my daughter from LA to London last year. And that's the one that had the door. The catering was good. We got the John and Vinny's meatballs or something. That was really good food.
I wonder if they'll serve those meatballs on the Taiwan flight.
Probably not. I think it might be like a local thing with LA or something. I think there's like some partnership there.
Yeah, I've had those meatballs on. We flew with them years ago going LA to Sydney. John and Vinny's is here in LA, and we've went there a couple times with their restaurant. They're really good. So if you get the opportunity to pre-order them, Serena, do it.
Okay, good tip.
Why didn't you say if you get an opportunity to pre-order them, Nicole?
Do you got a new Delta credit card in the mail waiting for you?
I mean, it might be. It's a business card on their flight 24.
That flight from LA to London actually started in Mexico City. So it included a segment from Mexico City to LA and then to London on Delta One. And that was a really good deal. I paid only 75,000 Delta SkyMiles because back in the day, just last year, that's the rate that you could fly if your trip originated or ended in Mexico instead of the US. That rate has now gone up to 105, 110,000 miles if it starts in Mexico. The takeaway here is that these points and miles get devalued all the time. So if you want to book a trip, book it because it might go up, without any notice.
So the last time I flew Delta was about 3 years ago. We flew from San Francisco to the Bahamas and we had an overnight layover in Atlanta. We spent about 15,000 Delta miles on this economy ticket. And nowadays, I think you can get it for 20,000 miles, which I don't think is bad at all. But one thing that I did experience with this is Delta's bags on time guarantee. So Delta has this really cool thing. When you land and that aircraft door opens, you start your timer. And if you have a checked bag and it's not on the carousel within 20 minutes, you will get 2,500 miles back per person, which I think is pretty cool because I do not like waiting for my bags. And I think 20 minutes is reasonable. So I'm really glad that Delta does this. I think Alaska does this too. Is that right?
Yeah, they have a 20-minute bag guarantee, but there's a couple places where they don't do it. But it works exactly how you mentioned, Serena. So the second they open that aircraft door, that is when the timer starts. So if you look in your app, when you blocked into the gate and they open the door, that's when the 20 minutes starts. So start your timer right from them when they open the door.
Yeah, the good thing about Delta is you don't even have to provide them any evidence because it's already in the system. They will double check their records with the form that you're submitting to see if it was actually 20 minutes or less.
That is so true because as soon as I submitted the online application for this bags on time guarantee, I got the miles instantly. So it knew that their bags were late.
Serena, I have a way where you never have to wait for your bag.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear it. My family cannot do that, Nicole.
Team carry-on.
My family cannot do it.
Just a thought.
Maybe one day I will get there. But at this point in our life, we just have too much crap.
I wish American Airlines had that baggage delivery guarantee because
they would be out of business.
I just came back from Brazil and I got my bag 2 days after I got here. So I guess I need to advocate for myself. So I'll probably send a email or complaint and see if I get some miles for it.
I think you should consider yourself lucky you got your bags back.
Yeah. I mean, in Miami, Nicole, I waited for my bag in the Miami airport for an hour.
Listen, Miami's an exception. I bet you on Alaska's list, Miami's not one of those places.
And then let's talk about the domestic side right here. Something you would find like this on the 737. They have a first class seat, which is usually a domestic type recliner seat. They've got Comfort Plus Economy, comes with a little more leg room, and then they got the main cabin as well. Now, I do have to say their onboard product, from the seats to the food to the partnerships with the chefs, the menus, I think they have the best when it comes to these other U.S. carriers, like we were talking about with American and United. I'd say they're number one on my list of onboard products, like their amenity kits, their bedding, and food as well. We want to know, what do you think? Share one of your experiences that you've had on Delta Airlines in our comments below. Let us know what you think. Does Delta offer the best amenities and onboard products of all the U.S. carriers? Comment below.
Let's talk about the Delta SkyClub lounges. Now, what lounges have you guys been to? I have only been to the one at SFO. I've been to the one in Atlanta too. So crowded. But the one at SFO is actually not bad. Great food options. I like how it wasn't that crowded. How was your experience?
I've been to the one at LAX and LaGuardia and a few in Atlanta. Oh, I actually went to the one in Miami, now that I think about it. My favorite has to be the LAX one. I love the indoor art. Wait, start over. I think I've been to more Delta One lounges than I can remember. I went to JFK, LaGuardia, Miami, LAX, and a few in Atlanta. Okay, I've been around the block. The LAX one is my favorite. I love the indoor-outdoor patio. The one at JFK has a hot dog stand, like a Nathan's hot dog stand, and they also have an outdoor patio. I feel like Delta Sky Clubs are like the premium type lounges. They compare to maybe an American Express Centurion lounge, but I think some of them are of a higher caliber than the Centurion lounges.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of the ones in Atlanta because that's their hub. So they have one like in every terminal. But I've also been to the one in LAX, and that was very nice. They do have a separate entrance if you're flying Delta One. So if you're flying international on either Delta or one of their SkyTeam partners, or doing a premium transcontinental route from, say, LA to New York, you could use a separate entrance. So this was pretty cool because they had their own TSA security there. They had a little lobby with drinks and snacks while you wait. It ends up being the same SkyClub. So you just need to know that that's available, because that's if you want to be a little extra. I do agree, Nicole, that Delta Sky Clubs are on a higher level when you compare them to an American Airlines Admirals Club or a United Club. The only thing that Delta is trying to catch up on with United and American is American has what they call their flagship lounge at a few airports, where if you're flying business class internationally, you have access to those. And United has their Polaris clubs, which you can also only access if you're flying either United or Star Alliance business class for international routes. So Delta is just starting this trend as well, where you can have an exclusive lounge that you can only access if you're flying Delta or one of their partners on an international business class flight. So I haven't been to one of these yet, but they're on my list, because knowing how Delta is above the others with the regular lounges, I'm expecting a lot more from Delta from these Delta One lounges.
So here are a list of cards that you can use to access the Delta Sky Club lounges. So you want to note that you cannot pay for a day pass. So the way to get in is to have the right credit card. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Consumer and Business Cards will allow you 15 visits per year starting in February 2025. The American Express Platinum and the American Express Business Platinum cards allow you 10 visits per year. Now, if you want to have unlimited visits using these cards, then you'll have to spend more than $75,000. So with my family, if I want to get them into the Delta Sky Club, what I'm doing is I will use my Business Platinum card to gain access to the club for me. My husband will use his Business Platinum card to gain access. I will also make sure that I selected Delta as my chosen airline for my airline credit on my American Express Business Platinum card, so that I can pay for access for my children to get into the lounge. So although you can't pay for a day pass, you can pay for guests. And at the time that I went, my kids were $39 each. And when I used my Business Platinum card, I got the credit since I selected Delta as my chosen airline.
Wow, what a nice mother you are, not making your kids sit outside while you and your husband enjoy the lounge inside.
I can't wait for that day when I can leave them outside. Save that money. Save that credit for something else more useful.
Funny you should mention that. That's exactly what I did today. James and I went into the lounge with our Ziploc bag in tow, got a few sandwiches, ate, drank, and brought them some leftovers.
Good mom, Nicole.
Don't worry, Serena. Your day's coming soon.
Another way to access these lounges is if you are flying business class internationally, or if you bought a lounge membership through your elite status.
Delta has 4 levels of elite status. They have silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. So let's go over some of the benefits that they provide. Starting in 2025, the only metric you'll need to worry about is medallion qualification dollars, also known as MQDs. To earn silver status, you'll need to earn $5,000 in MQDs. For gold status, you'll need $10,000. For platinum, $15,000. And for diamond, $28,000 in MQDs. MQDs are earned based on how much money you spend on flights with Delta or some of their partners. If you have one of the Delta, American Express, Platinum, or Reserve card, you can waive the MQD requirement by spending enough on the card. But let me warn you that you need to spend a lot of money to earn your status strictly through spending. The Delta SkyMiles Platinum, Platinum Business, Reserve, and Reserve Business cards receive an MQD head start of 2,500 MQDs per eligible card for each medallion qualification year. You also get an MQD boost by earning 1 MQD for every $20 of eligible purchases using the Platinum or Platinum Business Card, or 1 MQD for every $10 of eligible purchases with a Reserve or Reserve Business Card. So what do you get with Delta Elite status? Pretty much the same thing that other airlines offer with Elite status. That is priority boarding, priority baggage handling, waived baggage fees, complimentary upgrades when available, and sometimes even other benefits like upgrade certificates with the right status. The complimentary upgrades can start clearing anywhere from 120 hours for top tier status all the way to the day of departure for the lower status depending on the route. Airport benefits get you priority check-in for silver and above, priority boarding starting with zone 2 for diamond, zone 4 for gold and platinum, and zone 5 for silver. You could also get priority security line access where available for gold and above, and expedited baggage handling for gold and above as well. Diamond status, you get a complimentary Clear Plus membership. If you earn diamond or platinum status, you can also get what they call choice benefits. Starting in 2025, these are some of the choice benefits that you're able to select depending on the status, whether you got diamond or platinum: a Delta SkyClub membership, regional and global upgrade certificates, bonus miles, the ability to gift elite status to somebody else, a Delta travel voucher, a Delta vacations credit, an MQD accelerator for your elite status the following year, statement credit, or even Starbucks stars. Those are some of the benefits that you can get with elite status. Just a little recap. Just keep in mind that these are ever changing. I, for one, did a status challenge earlier this year. I do recommend you doing that if you have some upcoming flights with Delta and you have status with another airline, because that can be beneficial. I got upgraded on quite a few flights in just a short period of time by matching my status, and I really enjoyed the experience with Delta. What do you guys think about the elite status or the SkyMiles program in general? What are your thoughts?
I love Delta for their customer service. It's just above and beyond the other US carriers, and not just a frontline service, but when you're emailing about an issue that you have, they take care of it and they respond with either an apology or some kind of compensation. That goes a long way for me. Oh, and I love the Sky Clubs.
I agree with you, Nicole. The brand, Delta Airlines, everything about them, it kind of says who I am as an individual, right? Like, I love how everything is elevated from the seat to the food to the program. Those Sky Clubs, I will say I have done some time in the American Airlines lounges and United clubs, and I don't think they hold any type of comparison to what Delta offers with their lounges throughout their system. When it comes to the SkyMiles program, I think if you're able to find one of those flash sales like we talked about tonight, you can get some really good value out of those with your Delta SkyMiles. So I think it's to your advantage to kind of keep your eye on that and make sure that you're maximizing your points when it comes to those types of redemptions with Delta. I think that's where you can get a lot of value out of the program.
So I'm not loyal to any airline. I'm what you would call promiscuous. I fly whatever is convenient and whatever makes sense points wise. I will say that the times that we have flown Delta, we've been very happy. I think my only complaint is the whole dynamic pricing thing. But if you pay attention to our sweet spots, you could get good maximum value for your SkyMiles.
Yeah, personally, I think Delta is good for the experience, actually flying them, the service, the catering. But the program itself, I don't think I would concentrate a whole lot on it. I think if I flew Delta a lot, I would evaluate whether it makes sense to credit my flights to Delta SkyMiles or to another program like Air France or another program with the SkyTeam partners. Now, before we move on, have you guys heard of the Delta gays?
No, tell us about them, Miguel.
I don't know. This is a Delta episode. I don't want to leave the Delta gays out, but I have read an article by a friend, Chris Dong, that there's a thing called the Delta gays. So I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but shout out to the Delta gays.
Go Delta gays, go.
Yay, Delta gays.
And up next, Ask Us.
Hey Nicole, Serena, Mitch, and Miguel, and hello to all the viewers. My name is Raymond Lorenzana, and I'm from the Bay Area, California. I first want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the entire Let's Get to the Points team for all the knowledge and hard work that goes on behind the scenes. The synergy you all share makes the world of points and miles truly exciting, and I absolutely love binge watching your shows and learning from the diverse perspectives each of you bring to the table. Thanks to your team, my P2 and I were able to book an incredible 2-month trip to Asia this past summer. We visited Korea, Bali, Hong Kong, and 3 beautiful islands on the Philippines known as Siargao, Palawan, and Boracay. It's actually been over 20 years since I've last visited my motherland, so it was a heartfelt experience to connect with my family again, as well as my Lola, who's actually turning 100 in just 2 years. We even attended 2 different destination weddings of close high school friends, which made the trip even more special. We of course used points and miles and many tips from your team to secure 3 different business class flights. We even booked 31 hotel nights, which allowed me to fast track to globalist status with Hyatt by using the corporate promo link. I highly encourage everyone and anyone watching this video to take that extended dream vacation. We shouldn't just live to work, we should really work to live. And we could do that with credit cards. So my question is, my partner and I are both at 524. While we're waiting to get back down to 424, a feeling I'm sure many viewers can relate to, what strategies can we use to maximize our opportunities in the business credit card space? I'd love to hear if any of you have been in my shoes, and if so, what would you recommend or wish you would have done differently? Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all at a meetup in 2025. Peace.
Thank you for your question, RJ. Wow, what a trip you took. I'm jealous. And, I love that trip. So many places that I want to go. All right, gang, what strategies or tips do you have for RJ? Nicole, let's start with you.
RJ, first of all, congratulations on going back to your motherland. That must have been an amazing experience. The power of points and miles to transcend you back to a place of your childhood must have been such a great experience. I understand you're at 524, but sometimes you can receive mailers from Chase at home. I recently got a mailer and I was able to apply for a Chase Ink card when I was over 524 and I was approved. So that might be your way into applying to Chase business cards. What about you, Miguel?
Hey, RJ, that trip sounds amazing. I'd love to be able to take a whole summer vacation, especially to Asia. I don't really care about 524. And if I were at 524, which I am or over, I would try to get the no lifetime language American Express business cards, whether that's the gold or the platinum. Some of us here have been known to have multiple business platinums at the same time, because if you get those offers with no lifetime language, you can just keep getting more and more of those, and that'll be more than enough points while you get back under 524. What do you think, Serena?
I agree, Miguel. 524 is so overrated, especially now, since it's getting more difficult to get those Chase Ink cards. So RJ, I just want to say congratulations on making it back to the motherland. That must have been so special for you to spend time with your Lola. And I hope that you get to go back soon and spend more time with her too. As far as earning more points with a business strategy, I'm going to suggest looking at American Express and looking at the Amex offers. So hopefully you already have some American Express business cards. You'll want to look at the Amex offers when you log in. And these offers can have extra points waiting to be unlocked. An example is you might see an offer to open a business checking account. My dad just saw this on his account and he was offered 70,000 membership rewards points for keeping money in a business checking account for a certain number of days. Another offer is adding employee cards. These will be targeted and you might see them appear on your account maybe a few months after your business card is open. These offers can have a wide range, but I've seen some offers. For example, spend $4,000 and get 15,000 membership reward points per employee card, or spend $2,000 and get 5,000 membership rewards points per employee card. These employee cards can be for your employees if you have them, or they can be for yourself. I think this is a good strategy for you to look at, especially while you're waiting to get under 524, if that's important to you.
Hi, RJ. So I like the part of your question where you ask, what would we have done differently? So here's my thoughts on 524. I used to be a really strong believer that I had to stay below 524, that there were so many Chase cards I had to get, and that Chase was the end all. But then I started to come to the realization that there are so many other credit cards that I'm missing out on. A good example I can share with you is the Hawaiian Airlines credit card, and it's very relative right now. That card, it's going to go away. both the personal and the business. And Alaska has said this in not so many words as well. I look at that as a missed opportunity, a card that I will no longer soon be able to get and could have had if I was a big 524 person. So I shared this example as how some people, they can really get pigeonholed into one way, one view, and sometimes they follow strategies very blindly. I think no one says it better than Serena. You have to diversify in this game. It's very important. Now, as the business card strategies, I think the American Express Blue Business Card, that's one that everyone should have. There's value in the American Express Business Platinum and Gold cards. Even the American Airlines City business cards, they've got some value too. Now, I would say be careful with the Capital One business credit cards. Some of those do report to your credit report. But if it were me starting over again, I'd do the American Express business cards first in the right order, sprinkle in some Chase along the way, and then going for all those Chase personal ones, back when you're under 524. My final piece of advice I'd say is getting business cards. You want to make sure that they do two things for you. You always want to make sure that they make sense for whatever trip or travel goal that you have in mind. That's very important, and they're going to help you along your way in your points and miles journey. Those are the two important things I think you should look at. We want you on our show. Just visit our website, letsgettothepoints.com, and click on subscribe, and there you can send us your video question. Thank you again, RJ, for sending it in. That's it for now. I want to thank all of our hosts. It's Serena.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miguel.
Later.
And we're going to see you next week, Nicole.
See you guys next week.
And I'm Mitch Shannon. Make sure you sign up for our email newsletter. Just snap the QR code right now on your screen for the latest and everything going on in the points and miles world. And we're going to see you here next Friday all together as we recap our 2024 year in review. And we're going to celebrate the holidays together. Thank you for watching and listening.
Let's get to the points.com.